Namaste people, I am Anmol Sarkar. So if you guys have seen my introduction video, you guys must have an idea about who I am and what I am trying to do and what this channel is all about. And if you have not seen that video, for Facebook I'll share the link in the comment section and for YouTube in the description below. So please do not forget to like and subscribe my YouTube channel and press the bell icon so I can come up with more such videos for you guys. Okay. So without wasting any further time, let's get straight down to today's topic. So in last video we have seen how this 2008 first conference on Tamil religion was conducted in Chennai and who participated and who didn't and what kind of papers were published and all that. So in today's video we shall see how this social inequality was exclusively seen as a Hindu. Okay, means whatever social inequalities were prevalent in the world, they were automatically seen as Hindu. That means Hinduism was responsible for all the social inequalities. Okay. So at this conference, issues concerning both Dravidians and Dalits were interwoven. Means Dravidianism and Dalitism were interwoven and mixed together, and it was tried to given a caste angle and all that kind of things, with a new emphasis on caste appearing in Dravidian writings. Okay, the Dalit issue will be discussed extensively in the later chapters. Of the two issues come together around the idea of caste as an equal race, a roots, and is now being worked to empower several divisive trends. Okay. At this conference, the session on the caste system started with a paper which was read by Professor Sampson. So what this thing did is they were trying to claim that these Dalits and Dravidians were blacks of India and they were cunningly exploited by the Aryans from outside. So whatever the caste system, the what marriage system, all these kind of things, it was their idea to exploit the Dravidianism so they could separate the Dravidians and Dalits from the pan-India basis or the Hindu culture. Okay. After this, the Saint Thomas myth, if you have seen my previous videos, you guys know what the Saint Thomas myth is, how churches were tried to build in the name of Saint Thomas and how Hinduism descended from Christianity and Saint Thomas was propagator of Hinduism and all these kind of things. Okay. Given all the evidence to the contrary, one wonders why there is such persistent myth among the missionaries associating Saint Thomas in India. Okay. So this Thomas was the one who represented Indian religions, especially Buddhism, in influencing early Christianity. She wrote that yet the Gnostic Gospel of Thomas relates that as soon as Thomas recognizing him, Jesus says to Thomas that they have both received their being from the same source. Does not such teaching the identity of divine and human, the concern with illusion and enlightenment, the founder who is presented not as Lord but as spiritual guide, sound more Eastern than Western? Some scholars have suggested that if the names were changed, the living Buddha appropriately could say what the Gospel of Thomas attributes to living Jesus. Could Hindu or Buddhist tradition have influenced Gnosticism? The British scholar of Buddhism, Edward Conze, suggested that it had. Okay, so this was the quote which relates to how this Dravidian spirituality and all these Dalits and Dravid, means South Indians, were used as an interim stage to propagate Christianity for. Okay, so this was it for today, guys. In next video we shall see how the academic nexus outside India was formed and how it played a major role in modern politics. So till then, enjoy this video and have a nice day.